What's up, everybody? It's minute 31 of I Love You 3000 Minutes. I'm Brian.
I'm Richard.
And this is the podcast where we traveled back in time to rewatch the entire Infinity Saga from Iron Man 1 to Spider-Man Far From Home. One glorious, marvelous minute at a time. I'm really proud of that.
You saved it.
Oh.
I didn't about know to say glorious.
Failed. I didn't know it was failing.
I mean, you caught it. It was great.
Thanks.
Okay, you failed. You big failure.
I was gonna say I'm glad when my dad's proud of me, which really would have killed it. We just watched minute 31 of Iron Man, and Richard, what happened?
Yo, it looks like he's about to shove a coal down Jensen's throat.
Right at the end?
I kind of thought that's what was coming because I've heard of crazy wartime torture methods like that, so I saw it coming, and it got worse. It doesn't make it better that I thought it might be happening, because he puts a coal towards his face, and you're like, no!
No! We'll have to find out in the next minute. I recorded it on my phone because there were subtitles that don't show up when I've chopped into minutes. So if you want to... do you want to scrub through the subtitles, or would you like me to recap
I think I'm good. But you see Tony Stark getting visibly unsettled for the first time since he woke up in the cave.
And just because it will not be posted with subtitles on Instagram, probably, unless I find a fix, he asks Jensen, why have you failed me? He's not speaking English anymore, so he's not interested in getting Tony's input on this. And Jensen says, we're working diligently. And he goes on to say, I let you live. This is how you repay me. And Jensen goes, it's very complex. We're working very hard. Is that what he said? He's trying very hard. And then the boss of bosses says on his knees, and that's not an insult to the Mandarin. I don't want the Mandarin hunting me down because I called this guy the boss of bosses. On his knees, and he says, you think I'm a fool? I'll get the truth. And Jensen goes, we're both working? And he tells him, open your mouth. And then he says, you think I'm a fool again? And what's going on? During that... Tony has said stuff like, what's he saying? What's going on? Just trying to get a feel for what's happening. But those are the subtitles, and yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of went through what I was going to say already. Damn, I had something else that I can't remember. Yeah, what about you?
He is about to, with a hot coal.
Mm-hmm.
I find it interesting that he completely abandoned... completely shut out Tony. Mm-hmm. Kind of like it's a power play.
What I was wondering was, why couldn't they, Tony and Jensen put something crude that looked like their missile? You know what I mean? While they were doing this?
To buy time.
Yeah, exactly. Because they would get suspicious. Maybe they didn't know. They'd have to know there's a camera in there, right?
They know. When he wakes up, Jensen literally says, oh yes, they're watching. Or
exactly. Yeah, exactly. So
I guess the only way I could justify that with headcanon is they can't spare a second not trying to put this escape plan together.
Mm-hmm.
If they do something crude that's distracting, Tony's of the mindset that he'll be dead in a week, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he builds it, whether he doesn't. So maybe it is so complex they can't even divert their attention for 10% of the time to try to...
Could be, yeah.
Mask it. But, yeah, we get a lot of people in here with him. A lot more firepower and men. Normally, literally 2 people shove Jensen down. And see at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6. At least 6 others right behind them. Yeah, so there might be 8 armed soldiers, not including the boss of bosses in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, geez, he even blows on that coal just to make it fire up a little bit more. We also see that there's a little bit of light from candles in the background. I hadn't noticed that in the previous minute.
Yeah. Classic scene here. I wonder what Tony's about to do.
Yeah, we get another, that piece with the Stark on it, the curved part of the chest next to the papers that the boss of bosses has put down. I know I've said it, something akin to this, but I can't even imagine Robert Downey Jr. having dirt on his face in a movie now. It's always the prettiest and most comfortable situations now. What is the thing they bend him over? What is that? That's
could be an anvil type of thing.
Yeah, I think I saw Tony hammering something earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And we see that, if my memory is correct. That's where we see him pounding some of the metal into shape in the trailers as well. Jeez, they're holding his neck. The boss guy even takes the top of his head and puts it down. He has a scarf. I'm having trouble with the heat in front of some studio lights.
Didn't we see some snow or something in an earlier scene?
Yeah, and nighttime once. But
there.
then we looked up the average temperature at night and it was still 70 degrees.
If it's snowing, it's snowing.
Yeah, but it's like that was one time. I can't. I'll never get over that. I'll never get over. I swear, if they ever are in like a snowy climate in an MCU movie and they're wearing like beachwear, I'm gonna be just as
upset,
confused. Yeah, what are they doing? That must be so cold. But yeah, this is a pretty quick minute. How are you feeling with the intensity? What do you think's gonna happen in the next minute with that Cole? Right by him.
Well, it's one of two things. Either Tony pulls out his trump card and does some crazy mecha stuff, or Jensen's getting a Cole to the mouth.
Oof. All right. Let's go over to minute 32 to figure out what the result will be. And yeah, that's been minute 32.
I'm Richard.
I'm Brian. Oh, sorry. Follow along with the minutes on Instagram at I Love You 3000 Minutes. If you're watching this on YouTube, give it a like, subscribe, check out the other minute podcasts with X-Men and Bond. And if you're listening on audio, please put a review or rating on Apple Podcasts.
I'm Richard.
I'm Brian.
You've got an army.
We've got a podcast.